Today we're recreating the first school lunch in America.
Pizza sticks!
Not those. Today's historic meal is inspired by the first American school lunch program served in Boston, Massachusetts. On January 24th, 1890, Ellen Swallow Richards opened the New England kitchen as an experiment to determine the successful conditions of preparing nutritious and palatable dishes by using scientific methods and cheaper food materials. The kitchen soon expanded to other neighborhoods and secured a contract to prepare lunches for Boston's public high schools in 1894. They became the first schools in the US to participate in a school lunch program. Like cafeterias today, students could buy a complete lunch or individual items such as milk, soup, sandwiches, rolls, ice cream, and cakes. Today, we're recreating some of the meals from the late 19th century school lunchrooms. We're making a scalloped oysters, baked Indian pudding, baked apples, and split pea soup.
So, Boston, right? I want to try to do a Boston accent, but what if I upset Bill Burr, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck? Will they come beat me up?
I don't like the way you said that, but maybe.
Come beat me up.
Okay.
Daddy.
Don't dress as a sexy Dunkachino.
Dang it. It's time for
Meals of History! Who do we have over yonder?
Hey, get out of my kitchen! Out of here!
Sorry,
Get out of here!
I'm done. Cut the cameras. I don't need this energy in my life.
Wait, are you an adult?
Yes, I am an adult.
Okay, thank God. Listen, I had to get a new persona because these kids, they kind of, they're tough. They work in factories.
Yeah, they're all tenement
They all
kids.
work in factories, and they're from Boston, so they are tough. They throw rocks at me. If I don't have a big persona like, hey, get out of here, if I don't do that, then they hurt me.
You have to turn into the monster that you're defending
Yeah,
against.
so
I
I'm
totally
a
understand
very
it.
nice girl.
No, you seem
Very
perfectly
nice
lovely.
girl from Boston. Can you tell I'm really working hard at this accent?
That Boston accent is working hard.
It's kind of hard to think about like the jokes that I've come up with for this character.
I'm guessing, so you're the lunch lady.
Yeah,
You're kind of the first lunch
I'm
lady.
the only one who works here.
You are.
Only one. And these kids, they make fun of me. They do this thing where they come up and they might flap on my arm.
Oh.
Yeah. So I gotta be tough, or else these kids will walk all over me.
I totally understand. You're in
They
a
will.
weird position where you're on the forefront of such a new endeavor because never
Yeah.
before has there been lunch served to children on
It's also
mass.
1890.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this an
Yeah.
1890 kind of vibe?
Perfect 1890 accent.
I don't know.
So,
Duncan.
right now, we're gonna...
I'm so sorry to everyone from Boston. I've been watching just Good Will Hunting back to back, trying to figure this out.
Larry Bird plays the game the right way
Yeah.
with a lot of hustle and smarts. That's what she's saying over
Yeah,
here.
it's hard to also, you want to go into the Brooklyn accent
That makes sense.
because it's so
Then
much
you're a
easier
rat.
because it sounds like this. It's like more like in the side of your mouth, like this kind of thing.
I just do Bill Burr the whole time.
But Bill Burr,
The kids are out here. They ain't got no lunch.
but they got no lunch. Okay, that was Brooklyn again. We're gonna have to have a Brooklyn counter on the screen.
Okay.
Because if I go into Brooklyn, you gotta.
We gotta get cooking because they're hungry children.
All
They're gonna
right.
throw rocks at you. They're chronically malnourished, and we're gonna cook one of the recipes
God,
from.
they also say slurs.
Yeah, Boston
Hard
to
R
Boston.
words saying
Jesus
at me,
Christ.
I swear to God.
Jesus Christ. There had been some public school lunch programs in Europe in the 1700s. Basically, people during public schools realized that, oh my God, these poor children are now interacting with middle class children, and the poor children were coming in very hungry. So it was one of the first times that you really saw like malnourishment in the public sphere. So people were like, we should try and get rid of this. But in
Yeah,
America,
it's easier to do like child labor
100%.
if you feed them.
Like, actually,
It's like
yes,
if they're not
though.
hungry, they'll actually work.
Kinda, but
Yeah.
part of this was trying to provide adequate nutrition for work, and then part of this was part of a very new social reform movement that Ellen Swallow Richards, who founded the New England Kitchen, that eventually turned into the modern day school lunch program.
Was her maiden name Swallow?
Yes, actually.
And she decided to keep it.
Actually, yeah, she loves swallows so
Yeesh.
much.
Honestly, I bet on the fights between the
Yeah.
kids. Me and the janitor, we go and we watch the kids fight. We're like, okay, and I win every time. He's mad at me.
I can't.
He is mad at
now
me.
it's aiding and abetting a crime if I listen to the cops in 1890s Boston. I'm sure we're.
The cops are in on it.
Can you?
It's Boston.
Can you shut these oysters for me? We're making a recipe that was from the New England Kitchen Cookbook called scalloped oysters. What you
Scallops.
do? You got the oysters, now you got to
Yes,
scallop
that's
them.
very good. I have my own type of shucking.
Okay.
All right. Get out of here! Get out of the Shelf.
How did you get hired? Listen,
Come
sometimes
on.
you hire the first employee.
Don't be difficult.
You don't know what you're looking for in the first hire, and so you end up with my friend here. Yelling at the oysters. Standard back then.
It's not. These are bullshit oysters.
Yeah, it's the oyster's fault, I'm sure.
These suck.
I'm sure.
I don't know where you got these, but they don't listen.
Got them from the harbor. Brooklyn oysters.
Okay.
So this was on the original school lunch menu in 1894, which was in the boys'
Can I do
Latin
whatever
school.
that is?
Yeah, crush that. I'll shuck
right.
the oysters. I'll shuck the oysters.
Okay.
So the escalloped oysters, it's basically a bunch of butter and cracker crumbs with
what I'm
spices and
doing?
oysters. This, if you look at the original menu from the first school lunch in
This makes me
1894,
really nervous.
she actually, Ellen Swallow Richards, who was the first woman admitted into MIT, which is crazy, she actually broke down all of the carbohydrates, fats, and protein,
Is this
which was
loud,
wild.
what I'm doing?
I think it's great.
Okay.
Which was wild because the idea of the macronutrient was only figured out about 20 years earlier. So this is actually...
What's a macronutrient?
It was figured out in 1860s by Justus von Liebig.
That doesn't
And
tell
you
me
don't
what
know
it
about it
is.
160 years later?
No.
Macronutrients are carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So all food is made up of those three macronutrients. And those are sort of the building blocks of nutrition. So we were really still figuring out the idea of modern nutrition by the time the school lunch program came out. But again, she was a scientist, and she was using a lot of the findings of other scientists. Like there's a guy named Count Rumford. The New England Kitchen was
That's
originally...
not a real name.
It's Count Rumford's name.
Rumford.
He was a physicist who used a lot of his scientific techniques to figure out new cooking methods on how to extract nutrients. He basically invented bouillon cubes to try and nourish as many people as possible. And so a lot of what Ellen Swallow Richards did in the Boston School Lunch Program is... Sorry, your accent makes me want to hold a blade.
I know it does. Makes you want to like stand up straight too. Oh yeah, keep talking about that thing.
Oh yeah, that thing. So basically, all of this menu that we're cooking today, this was meant
I
to
need
provide.
a child to beat this on.
This was meant to provide
Get
as
in
much
here, kids. Come on.
nutrition and as much flavor
I
as
hate you,
possible
Timmy.
using the
hate
cheapest ingredients. So that's why you get a lot of butter, crackers, high calorie density things. Because you had kids coming to
Way better
school.
than whatever I was doing.
What's your
They're
name? How do
so-
I address you?
Rutha.
Rutha. Can you
Bishop.
please add the cracker crumbs to that bowl and then mix the butter with it. The one thing that I really believe in is that every child in America and around the world, because we have the means to do it, should get an
Food?
equal chance at life to any other
Yes,
child, right?
I agree.
Even if you want to play the game of like, oh, it's your fault, you're poor, it's no child's fault. And so to be able to give a kid, the goal of this program was 1/3 of their daily calories to at least give them a
Yes.
chance.
It
and
did,
this is really
and there was
cool.
like stew sometimes, which
There was
sounds
stew.
lit.
Stew was actually basically the cheapest
sorry.
way to get the most nutrients
this?
into children. This is dry breadcrumbs. So you take the day-old bread from the sandwiches that maybe didn't get eaten, and then you add that to this delicious escalloped oyster. Okay, I'm gonna dump the butter into the breadcrumbs. You'll see a notable lack of fruits and vegetables in a lot of these recipes, mainly
Yeah.
because vitamins weren't discovered until 20 years later. So they're like, that's for the rich, effete people.
Yeah.
But
Ovaltine, remember that?
Ovaltine, man.
Did you have Ovaltine as a kid?
my dad still had the idea that Ovaltine was healthy.
Well, it is.
What do you mean it is?
No,
it's
it
just
is.
sugar and malt powder.
No,
It's
no,
delicious.
look it up. Can you look it up for me? No, there really
There's
is.
vitamins in Ovaltine, but that doesn't mean it's
No,
health-
there's
what
like a
does healthy
lot.
mean?
No, it actually is good for you, but it is also a lot of sugar and stuff. But then there's other stuff. But there was like a big Ovaltine moment in the 90s.
There was Ovaltine. I think of it as even earlier.
It
And
like came back. Like it came back with a vengeance. My parents had so much Ovaltine, and I would get a spoon and get the
oh my god,
the powder and just
you're
eat
dry
it.
scooping Ovaltine.
Heck
you
yeah,
monster.
dog. What? So
Okay.
tell us the vitamins in Ovaltine.
There's vitamins A, D, and B, calcium and copper, but it's also high in added sugar.
But there's like fiber in there too, right? And magnesium?
Emily, I think this is where you learn.
I wanna be right.
No, because okay.
I mean, we had the square pizza, of course. I didn't do school lunches
that
in
oyster
elementary
liquor.
school. Elementary school, my mom made me a cheese sandwich because I hated lunch meat. Just cheese and white bread. There were grapes.
Smell that, dude.
No, why do you make me
Just
do that?
cream, sherry, and oyster juice. Keep talking.
Ew. And
Putting some mace in
I
here.
get baby carrots, which I would throw away, and then grapes and a little Debbie cake. And best ever. It was so good. In high school, we had microwaves that we could use.
Yeah.
And I got the cans of Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Oh my God.
And I would warm those up in the fridge.
It's so funny.
No,
'Cause
in the fridge, in the microwave.
that is literally World War II food. And like World War II is another inflection point in the school lunches in America because then it became a national security issue. It was literally how do we raise our large young men to be strong enough to fight America's biggest foreign enemies.
What is
and
this?
so, this is mace. It's a spice. You're the lunch lady. You should know this. Rutha, what are you doing?
Hey!
I know it's your third day on the
alright,
job
listen.
and the kids are throwing rocks at you.
You don't have to be so rude. That was Brooklyn again. Dang it!
So we have our alternating layers of oysters, cream, oyster juice, cherry, and buttery crackers. A little bit of mace and nutmeg in there. And now we're gonna pop this in the oven till it's nice and baked. And again, in 1894 Boston, they were serving 5,000 kids a day only 1 year into the program. So these would have been
And I'm
baked.
the only lunch lady.
You're just baking this
I'm
in
the
a
only
giant vat
one.
with a kayak oar.
I swear to
This is gonna
God.
go in the oven. We're gonna give it a taste.
Oh, you want to go bet on some kids?
Oh, that's all I want. Do you take the
Listen,
bigger kid or the meaner
Bobby
kid?
Bobby is like the king. He's like 300 pounds and he's 12.
How much of scalloped oysters is Bobby eating?
Bobby is eating all of them, and if I don't give him all of them, he throws rocks at my ass.
You sound like a real housewife of Long Island now.
Trust me, I got a big old lunch lady ass. Look at these apples. Was that good?
Do you like apples?
I love them.
How about them apples? Matt Damon.
That's what kids say when they throw rocks at my fat ass. How about look at those apples?
Your
And
boss,
then they do this.
your boss,
throw
Ellen
rocks.
Swallow Richards. As I mentioned, she was a social reformer, and I think one of the most inspiring things she said was that schools should not teach children how to make a living before they teach them how to live, because this is all an extension of how to actually live kind of a virtuous life. And her hero, Count Rumford, one thing that he said
a real name.
is why do we try and not help the poor until they're virtuous? Why not help them, and that will lead to virtue? So that's why we're making the kids dessert.
I love that. That's so true.
Really though, yeah. So we're making baked Indian pudding. Cornmeal was known as like Indian flour to make Indian bread back then because this is an indigenous crop to the Americas and was used in a lot of native cooking. So
Oh,
they would've
so it's
had-
not like from India.
No, it's like Native American pudding.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
The official in the
It's
actual
1890,
cookbook.
all right? Like,
It said
it
Indian pudding.
was a different time.
So we're adding a little bit of sugar to milk right here. They would actually use skim milk in schools generally because it was cheaper.
That's sugar?
And fat. No, sugar went in there. This is cornmeal.
Oh.
How'd you get this job?
I was here.
You're making baked apples, so you're gonna go ahead and stir together.
Yeah, I know how to do this.
There were a lot of opponents to this school program, mostly the janitors.
Nutmeg.
Because the janitors, go for it, the janitors would actually sell food to the children because they weren't getting provided lunch, and this food was prepared in like
Cinnamon.
basements and closets. And so Ellen Swallow Richards comes in and says like, hey, maybe there should be sanitation standards. The janitors
Sir.
literally organized and revolted and got shopkeepers to put up signs that said, don't let anyone tell you how to eat. So they were like the early like pro school food choice to try and sell more poison to children, which I think is really
Trust
fascinating.
me, I think about poisoning these children all the
Don't
time.
poison the children.
All the time.
Don't tell does your boss know you harbor these thoughts?
My boss is scared of me. Listen, I do a lot of things to, like, make myself scary to the kids. Like, you know how to get rid of bears?
Uh-huh.
Look, I'll give
Yell
you an
real loud.
example. So
I'm
you get
tempering the hot milk into the eggs
to
so
the
as to not
spoons.
scramble the eggs for the
two
custard.
spoons, and then you got, get out of my kitchen. You little rat bastards.
What if I told you
I
that
hate you.
the way you're treating these children
That's
is
what I do
going
to
to
my boss, too.
basically be the same for the next 130 years on the way that lunch ladies treat children.
Ah,
You're setting
I'm
the tone.
setting the trend?
You have a chance, though, to reverse this curse now that we're back to the futuring this thing.
Listen, you're asking a lot of women.
Don't make you abusing children a feminist issue here, okay?
don't
That's
know. Anyone could do it.
not all of the cornmeal into the egg custard. I'm going to
Sorry,
add in
there's a
some
kid
raisins.
in here. Hey, get out of here! Get out of my kitchen, you little bastard!
There's no kid. She's just having PTSD flashbacks. Little Bobby once just
Hey,
ran up
where'd
on
you
her.
get that rock? That is a big rock. You can't throw that. Oh, you can. These are good spoons.
I'm adding the raisins to the pudding.
Why do you have so many wooden spoons? Do you
they're-
really need all of these?
Like, kind of. We cook a lot of food here.
Do you guys just get in a row and everybody's got a spoon and they're like, wooden spoon time on Mythical Kitchen?
That's almost all we do, yeah.
With the brown dough. Hey, wait a minute. This is something I can do.
She's gonna do that. So anyways.
Hey, yeah, right.
People saw what was happening in 1894 Boston. It was a pretty big success in schools, but that's almost because it wasn't a success outside of schools. So the New England kitchen wasn't meant for schools initially. It was meant to educate poor workers in how to feed them and their children better at home. However, Ellen found herself pretty unable to convince grown people that they should try and cook better, cheaper, more delicious foods. There was a lot of resistance towards it. So she basically said, if we start children on this early, maybe they can learn. That's how home economics in public school was sort of founded.
That's why I can't button this dress anymore. I grew up on pizza sticks.
Yeah, same.
That's where I'm at.
I think about it. I grew up eating just chicken nuggets and iceberg lettuce was our vegetable. Little packets of buttermilk dressing that was 90% corn syrup. And that set the tone for what I thought food was.
Call your representatives.
Call your representatives. That's what we always say.
We're going to put the link to know what the phone numbers are right down here.
But truly, support good
Right?
organizations like No Kid
Can
Hungry.
we do that? Let's
You
do
know what I
that.
mean?
School lunches. Everybody likes those. This
Truly.
this is a bipartisan issue.
Unless you're a janitor who's selling moldy sandwiches to children in
Hey,
school
don't
lunch,
talk about-
I know, is encroaching on your territory.
Don't talk about Richard like that. He can hear you.
Can I add some water to the bottom of this?
I want to do it.
Do it! Oh my God! Before we get to making this delicious soup, we have a very exciting announcement. We are doing the first ever pay-per-view live stream in Mythical kitchen history. It's called Survive the Mythical Kitchen!
Yes.
Emily and I are gonna be there. We're gonna be drunk. And the rest of the Kitcheneers, they are going to be going through their most grueling challenge ever. We are going to finally decide once and for all who the best ultimate Kitcheneer is, and it is going to be a very, very wild time.
Yeah, and there won't be editors for me.
So true. We're a little worried,
If you
but
think
mostly
this
excited.
character is offensive with what you're seeing, you don't know what they edited out. You're probably going to want to cut this. I think this is the most offensive character I've ever done.
I agree.
And when we do this, they can't edit anything out. So you should watch,
You
because
really should.
I might lose my job.
Yeah, watch Emily fully crash out
But
and have a
hey,
breakdown.
Yeah,
but also,
I won't have a breakdown. The company will have a breakdown. It'll be
this is a really
crazy.
cool, important thing for us, because things like a pay-per-view live stream are how we get to make all these fantastic shows, and we've never done it
Yes.
before. We're frankly a little bit nervous about it, but very, very excited. So please,
It might
if you
be a
wanna
bad
support-
idea.
It might be. I mean, to let me unfiltered. Do you know all the stuff that I say off camera? Oh
my God.
Back to the soup. That's what you all came here for. We're making a soup. Soup is a big, big part of the New England kitchen and the early school lunch program, because the best way to preserve nutrients is to cook it into a soup, to eat the liquid. And that's true. They've done studies where if you drain off the liquid that vegetables, thank you so much for the addition.
Hey, what you doing over here? We're doing
Not
a
a
show.
child, there's no rock. Nutrients are best preserved in broth, and that is a lot of the early nutrition science that was done by people like Count Rumford and Ellen Swallow Richard. So I'm gonna
What
start
the
rendering off
hell
salt
was
pork.
that? Flour?
Salt
That's not
pork.
the accent. Flour.
This recipe right here, what we're making, this is about 1,800 calories and 62 grams of protein, meant to be 4 portions. And again, it is really revolutionary that in her cookbooks, the recipes she published from the school lunch program, from the New England kitchen, they had a full macronutrient breakdown. That was actually a really revolutionary thing. That
I
I think is
want
very
a
cool.
wooden spoon too.
Do you want another inspirational quote from Ellen Swallow Richards?
Sure.
So she said she was very much an optimist about the way that these social programs were going. And she said, in the 19th century, it will be unconscionable for schools to lure children in with the promise of education only to poison them with bad food.
Lure
We both
them
went
in?
to school. Yeah, I mean, the public education, the Boston Latin School is the first public school in America in 1635. And it's very fitting that that was the first school of this pilot school
The
lunch
first
program.
public school was in Boston?
In America, yeah.
Cool.
Boston Latin School, it really was. I mean, I am very grateful that, I grew up super low income, but I grew up in a relatively affluent area that had very good public schools. So I'm incredibly grateful for the fact that, despite my parents not having the means, I had a lot of opportunity because I was around good schools.
I brought a knife to school in the 3rd grade.
She brought a knife to school. These are split peas. So these are a type of field pea that are gonna get super, super starchy. There's a lot of great protein, a lot of great carbs in this. I'm gonna just add that to here, and then I'm gonna deglaze it with water, get all that pork flavor off the bottom.
When I heard of split pea soup, I thought it was just this is just liquid peas. I didn't know you actually split the peas. Does someone have a little knife and they just split all the peas?
Maybe 1,000 years ago, but like now there's machines
are
that will
they-
just like put it in a big tumbler and then they split the peas.
But how do they do it so perfect?
I don't know. Most peas just have the same structure.
Technology.
This right here is what's called like a reverse roux. So we're adding flour to butter. We're gonna put this in to thicken it later. But the thing that I love about this is gonna be delicious, right? This is like pork. This is salty. It's meaty. It's starchy. And one of the main what's she doing? This is salty. It's meaty. It's starchy. And one of the main goals of this was to give people nutritious food. Because like the worker must have bread. The worker must also have roses. You know what I mean? If people are eating delicious food, they're happier. They're also more likely to eat nutritious food if it tastes good.
You guys,
What the hell are you grabbing at?
I was looking for a tiny knife to split peas with. And then I saw the tiniest little fork. This would be good for my American Girl doll. Can I have it? She's got overalls on right now. I could put it in her
Okay,
little
we're gonna
front
bring the
pocket.
split pea soup up
Can I
to a
have it?
simmer for about 8
Why
hours.
is it dirty though?
Let this cook for
What
a
are
long
y'all
time.
eating with this?
We're gonna add that
One
roux to
pea?
thicken it, and then I think we're ready to eat.
It's so cute. I'm keeping this. Can I have it, please?
You can have it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's yours. That's your
Oh,
Christmas
man.
bonus, courtesy of the New England Kitchen.
Thank you. Oh, it is dirty.
All right, we're gonna let this soup run. We're gonna gather all our foods and eat our first ever school lunch in America.
All right, look at this over here. Oh, that's Brooklyn. Dang it.
There it goes again. Rutha, we
Sorry.
finally get to eat. We have our escalloped oysters over here. We have our Indian pudding with the cornmeal and the raisins. We
Right.
have these baked apples, covered them with a little bit of cream. We have, of course, that wonderful split pea soup, and then some other things that would have been common at the lunch table.
Never had split pea soup
I'm
before.
excited that it's
Never
gonna be
had
with me.
it.
We got some normal rolls here. Grab
Love
a
it.
roll. We have some lemon jelly, some butter, and then just lard.
You
And
don't
then-
need utensils when you have gloves on. You know that?
Yeah,
I can just do anything.
you can do it without gloves. too.
But
See, check this out.
I do have a utensil I'd like to use.
Can I serve you up some escalloped oysters?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
I'm just
tiny
putting it
little
next to the soup. I'm
fork.
putting it next to the soup. This is so thick with oyster. You
Ooh,
feel
that
the
smells
weight
like the ocean right there.
of the oysters. I'm slightly nervous about that. I don't know if this conforms to modern taste, but again, 1894 would have been different. Here, let me get you some soup. Give me a soup. I'll take your soup bowl.
All right.
This is a relatively upsetting color, but that's split pea soup.
What if I eat this with this? Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna do it.
Being hot and being reheatable was actually a really big part of this lunch program.
I like that.
You like the oysters? Let me try them. Let me try them. This is nutso.
I like it.
Not so good.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, oh. Uh-oh.
What wrong? What wrong?
No, I'm getting real strong oyster flavor right now.
Okay.
A lot stronger than I expected.
Have some soup.
It started out really nice.
I can't eat the soup with this. which is
Oh, I
too
feel
bad.
ready to learn. I feel ready to work like a lathe.
Yeah.
You know a lathe? I feel ready to work a lathe.
What is that?
I don't know. It's industrial equipment. What does a lathe do? Can someone Google what a lathe is?
I don't
it seems
think
like something a child
what
would have
is
operated
that
in
a
1894
word? Like
Boston.
L-A-I-T-H-E?
L-A-T-H-E, a lathe.
When you were a kid.
Can you pass the lard real quick?
What?
Can you pass the lard? There's 3, and the lemon jelly. I want lard and
Oh,
lemon
that's
jelly.
lemon
on my roll.
jelly.
That's lemon jelly.
Oh, the.
Now, which one looks more like butter and which one looks more like
Okay,
lard?
all right, all right.
I wasn't being patronizing. I was being helpful.
When I was a kid, I don't know if you guys did this, but there were a lot of movies about kids in orphanages. And there were like, you know, the boxcar children. It was like kids who lived in a boxcar. So that was like, I don't know, Charles Dickens. I don't know. Anyway, we would pretend that we were like kids in an orphanage, like Annie, like little orphan Annie. We'd be like, oh no, they're making us eat the slop again. How will we survive?
I don't
You know?
remember life before.
And then we'd all have like a little kerchief on our head and be like, we're so cold. We're so cold. And we're orphans. Our parents are dead. But you actually are one, so you could probably play that better.
My culture is not your costume.
I'm just breaking this roll off and
Put
putting it
some
in the
lard
soup.
on your roll. What are you doing? You're not
I don't
gonna have
like
energy
that.
to learn.
Is it
without your
offensive that I
lard.
was just playing as a poor person as a kid?
No, man, you're a kid.
I was
You know?
a kid.
Anything
it
a
was
kid
bad.
does
It's bad, but
isn't
you know
offensive.
what? I don't know. And my parents were probably like, we're feeding you good food. Why are you like
said
sitting
you
here
were
going,
eating ramen
ew,
noodles."
this is slop?
Anything you got in an orphanage is probably healthier than instant ramen noodles. Like, that's what we grew up on.
I know.
That was just it. I'm gonna try this baked apple. I also love baked apples. This is one of those old-timey foods that is just like always really good. It's so steamy, it's soft.
What is this?
We made it!
I know, but I don't recognize it.
It's so hot.
Is it that cornmeal stuff?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, don't do that.
It's so hot, it's so hard.
Oh, look away.
Okay.
Look away.
Oh,
Oh my God.
isn't that great?
That is amazing.
I know.
I wish I knew how we made it. Damn, I feel like I was ripped off as a kid.
I know!
Screw the pizza sticks. This is where it's at.
What's really funny is even down to the equipment, right? We grew up with microwaves and ovens. There was something that the New England kitchen was outfitted with called an Aladdin oven that was like an early pretense to the slow cooker. So there's like slow cooking soups. This is like good homemade food and made, I mean, in a time of absolute poverty in America. I'm not gonna lie, the oyster, the escalloped oysters are one of the least fun things I've ever put in my
I
mouth.
thought it was all right, but this soup is where it's at.
The soup's where it's at.
And this thing, it's like a custard almost.
Yeah, like a pudding.
Yes. Oh my God, you guys, you gotta get some of this. Y'all get your wooden spoons, gather around.
What do you think Rutha thinks about this meal?
Oh God, I'm gonna have to find this accent again. All right, I think that was Brooklyn. Dang it! Okay, Boston. All right, we're back in there, right? It's like you're swimming in your mouth.
Got a little bit of
Gotta get in there with the accent.
like Steve Irwin just ate peanut butter.
All right, Rutha thinks this is too good for the kids.
No.
They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. You put all this together and then you just make a slap
Yeah.
and you be grateful. And then you go fight in the yard so I can make money.
Listen, with all due respect,
Fight
to,
in the yard.
you know, God forbid a woman have hobbies in sports betting.
That Bobby, he's way too big. He's 300 pounds. What else are we gonna do with him?
Listen,
He doesn't even fit in the factory seat for the kids.
Well, I feel inspired to learn what are the school subjects that they had in 1894.
Violence.
Yep.
Oh, we got the pipe tightening.
Pipe tightening class. I feel inspired to go to
I'm
pipe
assuming
tightening
that's
class.
what factory stuff is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know what kids did in the factories. Oh my God, I'm so offensive in this episode.
Thank you so much for stopping by Mythical Kitchen. We got more episodes for you on the way. Let us know what meal of history you want to see me and my friend Rutha cook up next. This character's permanent.
I'm doing this every
This is
single
it.
time.
Just Rutha.
And I'm also turning into this person permanently.
Rutha at the Battle of Carthage.
Ooh,
Don't you want to see what she does there? I do.
that sounds great.
See y'all next time.
Rutha at, what was the thing where Jesus was eating? Last Supper, that one.
Get your tickets now for Mythical Kitchen's first ever live show, Survive the Mythical Kitchen. Available now at mythicalkitchenlive.com.